Oh, I fucked that, didn't I? All right, that's enough of that. Shut that off. What's up, creepers? I love that part right there, too. That part is so... Oh, I got a peanut butter cup. Thank you! Thank you for the peanut butter cup. I got a peanut butter cup. I'm not supposed to eat this shit, but... I don't know. I fucked that up, didn't I, a few times? I love playing that. Oh, what the hell? That's the right chord. Oh well, whatever. Cool, what's up, creepers, geekers, Chris, the retro creep. I almost said it. I almost fucking said it. Casey, you're cursing me, my friend. You're cursing me. What is up, everybody? What do we got here? We got the mediocre clarinet player. We got Violation Entertainment already in the chat saying whatever they're saying. I got a flame. Trust me, you don't want an encore from me, but I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. Although I think the flame has kind of evolved into we think this is beautiful, right? When I was younger, you put up the light to say encore, you know, more or whatever. Maybe it was a regional thing, but thank you guys for coming in. Oh boy, do we have a lot of fun in store today. I got a whole page. Whenever I do these videos from now on, believe it or not, I actually have, so I number the images, and I put them here so I know what's coming next, so I can kind of preemptively say what I want to say. But I'm really enjoying this, doing one toy video a week. I'm really enjoying it, and I think I'm going to try to strictly keep them on Tuesdays, unless, of course, the week dictates that I can't do something on a Tuesday. Then we'll still get a toy video out at least once a week. But Toy Tuesday sounds like I just started a playlist for Toy Tuesday with this video alone, this live stream. But if you want more toy fun, I have another playlist called The Creep's Playthings. You know, working off of the Alice Cooper song. We go there. There's a lot of toys there and stuff. And there might even be some doubles of what we may see today or what we've seen in the past couple of weeks. But regardless, and you know what was really fun about this? I put the call out there. And I didn't get a lot of response, but I got a lot more response than normal. So I'm going to say I got a lot of response. But what was great about this specific one is I put the call out there, what were some of your favorite playsets as a youths? And I got the responses. And the beautiful part about this is I learned about one or two. And I'm kind of hoping that I may have found a few in here that maybe you'll learn from, maybe something that you could go out there and aspire to, or just enjoy from afar if you're not a collector or anything like that. I got a couple Grail items on here for me personally, and I do have them broken down into sections if you're here early enough. I have a space section, I have a cartoon section, and then I have minis, and that pretty much takes up all of this. Obviously, there can always be a part 2, so if something I didn't mention was on your mind or something that you really hold near and dear to your heart, it doesn't have to be 80s and 70s. I mean, if you're a little younger, 90s and early 2000s is fine. There was actually a couple of, I believe there's one set on here. Yeah, I think it's from 1997 that I really want. But it doesn't really go into a nostalgia thing. I tend to collect haunted house toys. And I don't know how else to describe it besides, like, here's a good example. And here's a toy that's not, here's a playset that's not on the list. But if you care to learn more about it, there's a few videos out there. Just don't go to retro blasting. That guy's a fucking prick. You know, he's a prick, but he puked all over this thing. And then I was like, dude, that's a wicked fun playset. There's like 5 playsets in one. He's like, evidently you don't understand humor. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, you miserable puke. But this is the Wayne Manor playset. It was re-released like 6 fucking times with different paint jobs. I mean, at one point it was gray with purple spots all over it. Sometimes it's like a sand color. But this is mine, and I use it for my Mego monsters mostly. But it looks like a haunted manor, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I don't collect this line, and it is not on this list. Although, in hindsight, I wish I had put it on there. But I like to collect toys that are like Haunted Mansion inspired. Or I shouldn't say Haunted Mansion, Haunted House inspired. Because when you say Haunted Mansion, most people default to the Disney one, and I do have a couple of Disney Haunted Mansion. I have one little model kit. And I have a Lego kit, and I also have a Funko Pop of the original one from California, you know, the OG, which I've never been to. Never been to the California Disney. I've been to Knott's Berry a few times. No, just once. For Knott's Scary Farm. That was awesome. Unfortunately, my date, she's no longer alive. The girl I went with. Oh well, what are you going to do? Really good friend of mine, Angie. But we're going to take the time today to have a look at some of these. And again, this isn't a definitive list. This is just what I came up with. Obviously, there's going to be hundreds more that I didn't even mention, and maybe I don't even know about. There can always be a part 2. So if your favorite didn't show up on this, go to the comments. Not so much the chat. I don't go back to the chat. Put it in the comments. I will go back periodically to see if anyone added something new to it. And we may do another one down the road, you know? It'll even be extra special if I got it on a clean setting today, just slight breakup. I've been in the mood to play more Floyd stuff. If you haven't, if that intro didn't fucking if that didn't key you into the kind of mood I'm in today. So, we just got hit with what I can only describe as a super duper fuck ton of snow. Oh my God. Some areas destroyed the blizzard of 78 records. There are parts in Rhode Island where they got up to 3 fucking feet. And you also have to keep in account, if you're not on an East Coast town, the snow drift. The snow drift. They got hit with a bomb cyclone yesterday, and it felt like we did too. And thank God my landlord's snowmobile or snowblower was functional. You know, I got it to kick on because there was no way I was going to do the end of my driveway. It was already taller than me at one point. So, or I should say, judging by my neighbors. I got out there pretty quick with the fucking snowblower and cleaned it up the best I could. Did my neighbors a little bit too. Because he came out earlier and actually did ours. But then we got another 1.5 feet plus the plowing, you know? So, I don't know. So I got to go out there and finish cleaning it up. I should be getting a package today that I'm really excited about, but I won't be unboxing it here. I will be unboxing it over on the Creepy Crawl channel. I won a little arachnid enclosure for a little spider. You remember back when we had Renfield? My little jumping spider? I, as a joke, on my Reptile Hides TikTok account. Reptile Hides, I'm going to be working on that all week this week. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll have product. I've been saying that a lot lately, but I ran out of silicone. And everyone's been home, so we've been doing things together, so I haven't really focused on the hide. I need to do 1 or 2 more coats on there. And maybe that can be tomorrow's live. I don't know. But regardless, over on my TikTok account for this, there was a spider breeder and another dude. They were collaborating together. The Spider People is one of them. And I apologize. I can't remember who the second one was. Let me look it up just to be fair. But they were doing a giveaway. And I did the giveaway. I won! So that should be here in the next day or so. So look forward to that. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed that the Facebook account for the Atari Creep finally has transformed into Retro Creep. And I have begun to start posting over there. Will I do it often? I don't know. But I will be doing both this channel and the Creepy Crawl over there. In fact, I need to do a new banner showing that it's going to be both channels, or do something with the avatar, you know. But I do have that up. You know why I really kind of stopped using that? One, because fuck Facebook. Facebook can suck a cock. But more importantly, it went from just being a page to being a regular account. So now I have a wall of fucking people. I have no idea who the fuck they are. Whereas before, it was just whoever was following me or not was following, or something like that, you know? I don't know. So there's everything out of the way. Hopefully you got all that. Let's see. Hellraiser playset complete with nails, chains, hooks, and a mattress. You know, there was a guy for a while there doing CGI, or I should say AI commercials for playsets. There was a Friday the 13th one. I believe there was an Amityville horror one. Which, it's funny because I do have a playset that is close enough to the Amityville house that I'm going to use it. The windows aren't a perfect quarter circle. They're more triangles, but they're, you know, jarred more on one side, or jot more on one side. And the first thing I got from it was Amityville horror vibes, not because it was a Dutch colonial. It's a regular colonial with a peaked roof instead of the, you know. But you got to say to yourself, how would somebody turn that into a toy? And of course they would change a few things, and it's not exact, but it will be close enough, and hopefully we'll be doing that eventually on this channel as well. So, enough fucking talking. Let's start talking about playsets. And this one was a requested one. I got a couple pictures of this fucking thing. This is called the Marx Space Rangers playset. Let me get the pictures up so I can look at them. Here we go. I've noticed a lot of people kept the box to this. I have a lot of playsets that are very similar to this. Vinyl mat to put down, and then it would come with, in some cases, buildings and little figures, or it would come with, you know, whatever. In this case, it came with kind of like a, I don't know, is this like a moon base or something like that? And then you have this what would you call it, satellite thing that you could spin in a circle and everything. And it also came with all of this stuff and probably more. I you know, some of these playsets I couldn't find complete or anything like that. So this one's not complete. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have wrote down who requested these. I apologize. But they come with your Army Men style figures, and you notice how they have loops and stuff here? This is really cool. I'm assuming it's because you could bring this down and swoop them, or if there was a rocket ship toy you could swoop them up with and all that. You would see stuff like that, very common with these Marx sets. It was either a vinyl thing and then a bunch of like little things to stack on top of it with figures, or in some cases it would be like a wall. Like there's a lot of cowboy and Indian sets, you know, and it would be like the fort the log for it, and then something in the middle, and then a whole bunch of figures and wagons, and those were usually done on a cheaper. I mean, these were cheaply made, but they were so fucking fun. They were so fun, and there were so many of them. I had a hard time. Because I can only talk about so many in one fucking live stream, right? I mean, I suppose we could be here all afternoon, but I don't want to do that. Violation says we never got the Temple of Doom playset where you tried to stop Mola Ram stealing your heart. I know, and they could also have like the cage to go into the lava pit. There was a really cool Indiana Jones playset. I believe it was for the Crystal Skull. It was the same case. It was the same mold as the Revenge of the Sith Mustafar battle playset. Few things were a little bit tweaked. For the most part, it was the same thing. Just one was done in a lava theme and the other one was done in a desert theme. That was a really great playset. I had one of those. I got a video on it. I had a lot of fun with that one. I eventually sold it. Let me cross these two off. So this next one, I had a lot of toys from this company. They were called MPC, and they put out a whole bunch of really rad shit. Now, this is the same style of playset. I don't know if it came with a mat or not, but I remember these pieces here at a friend's house. And if you look real close, you fucking whore. It was cheaper plastic, and there wasn't a lot of detail to a lot of these things. And I can't imagine they were too expensive. I mean, I bet you these were a godsend during Christmas in the 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. But again, you have your Army Men style figures. You got a couple of vehicles. You got this cool little thing here that would go right here. It's like a little, I don't know, airport, space station thingy-mabobby. Then you got this giant truck thing with the fucking rocket on it, and you got all the space people. The Beyond Tomorrow Lunar Space Station. Just the name of this gives me those fucking rad retro vibes from even before my time, Really good stuff, really good. I love play sets like this. Again, they were cheap. It's hard to find them complete because the toys would get brittle. Of course, the small guys would get lost, and there were just so many parts to this one, as you can see here. But luckily, this guy has this one pretty complete, if not really complete. And the other great part about these things were yard sales. You could always get an extra vehicle or a couple of extra figures for like under $1 or $1 for, a pile of it. You could get other sets that were close to this that you could intermingle. Really fun stuff. This next one's going to be another request. I didn't pick any of them in particular because as I was trying to, I kept finding that in true Lego fashion back in the day, it was always about the little small sets. You know what I mean? You would have a vehicle with a couple of guys and some accessories, or you would have a building with a couple of guys and a vehicle, and then you'd have a spaceship with a guy and, whatever. And the idea was to build these as a big fucking thing. You get a $3 box here, a $5 box here, your Christmas and your stocking and birthdays and whatever, just random gifts from your aunt when they showed up. I didn't have a lot of these. Again, when it came to Lego, I got the big box that just had the 3 colors in it, and you just had to make up they came with a book of ideas, and the flap would have ideas, but it wouldn't tell you how to do it. Things that you can make with the pieces that are in that kit. But for the most part, I never really got any of these kind of kits. The closest to this I would say I ever got was McDonald's Happy Meals. Every now and again would put out little Legos, and it'd be like a cheap little, or I should say, a simple little vehicle. I remember when the police one came out. I was really big into that one. I like that kind of stuff. But by the way, this is the space section of our stream today. But yeah, going back to you, Violation, I would love to see a Temple of fucking Doom. A Temple of Doom. Look at this. Look at these, the astronaut fucking minifigs. Just working away. They really made these pictures come alive, They really did know how to make these pictures come alive. Wonderful stuff. And of course, these next two are going to be some of my favorites. I had the Millennium Falcon, of fucking course. I had the Han Solos, and I had the Chewbacca's. I never had a Luke figure as a kid. I did have a C-3PO. I can't remember. I don't think I ever had an R2-D2. And I didn't have any regular Stormtroopers. If you've been around for a while, you know that whenever I would ask for Stormtroopers as presents and stuff, because people are like, all right, you like Star Wars, but they don't know what to get you. A Stormtrooper's always good because it's an army building kind of thing. You want more Stormtroopers, so I would always just tell everyone, just get me a fucking Stormtrooper. And somehow I ended up with an army of fucking AT-AT Walker drivers. I got a whole fucking army of those guys. But this was a fantastic playset. Yeah, you could grab it by the landing gear and fly around like a fucking idiot. But when it was down on the ground and the landing ramp was down, and you had to top off the back, this was a really great playset. I had a lot of fun with this thing, more on the ground than ever in the air. Also, probably the greatest toy of all time. All time. The Empire Strikes Back. Mine was a Return of the Jedi. Doesn't matter. The AT-AT Walker. I don't care if you don't like that I say AT-AT. That's what it was back in the day. Well, Chris, they don't say ATST like that. Well, it's because it wasn't called that when I was a kid. It was called an Imperial Walker or a Chicken Walker. So get over it. I don't give a fuck how you feel. AT-AT Walker. But yeah, the AT-AT Walker and the Millennium Falcon absolutely are on the top of my list. And I do consider these, even though they're vehicles, they're large enough to be playsets. As a matter of fact, we had that really large one that came out in like 2010. I had that guy for a long time. But then when I was consolidating a lot of things, I took all my Star Wars stuff, vintage and, well, I mean, technically that one was vintage too. But, I sold them to some guy who wants to put them in his attic for his kids. So, he got a really fucking good deal. But this fucking thing right here is probably one of my most favorite toys ever. And I haven't owned one since I was a kid. All my Star Wars toys, as a kid, went to my nephew. My sister, she got pregnant in high school, senior year. Ironically, I had a son my senior year, too. Although I didn't give birth to him. My girlfriend at the time did. She was a smoke show. But regardless, my sister didn't have a lot of money. And as Nick started getting older and needed toys, my mom would go to my room and be like, all right, well, Christopher's old enough. He doesn't need these anymore. And I would come home and I'd be like, whoa, where's my AT-AT? I gave it to Nick. Not much I can really say at that point, right? Oh, well. All right, so now we're moving on to like Hot Wheels and Matchbox and vehicles, vehicle toys. I do have another one that would be considered a vehicle toy, but I have it in another section. So we will get to that if you requested that specific one. There is one specific that could be considered a vehicle playset that was requested, but we will get to that in the last section that I call minis. And I'm pretty sure if you're a smart fella or a fart smeller or a smart gal, very rare do they ever come in here, you'll know what I'm talking about already. But this is, if I remember correctly, called the Stow and Go City something or other. It's basically like a little cityscape. You have a burger joint. You got a garage. You have a car lift over here. This looks like a bank, church thing, and firehouse, and you got all kinds of just stuff you can do. And then you have this ramp. Then you have this one here that you could press a button. I forget exactly how it worked. I think there was a lever back here. But the car would be locked up on this black little plastic thing. And then what could happen is you let it go and it would come down here and do the thing. And pretty cool stuff. I remember a lot of kids having this, or they had this version of it, which is it's more of a car center. It's more of a car center kind of situation. This one was called a service. Sorry, I'm scratching off. So I know where I'm at. But this play set here, if you look at the thumbnail, There's 3 separate ones stacked on top of each other. I kind of wish I had grabbed that picture for this, but I only grabbed that picture for the thumbnail. Do we go there? Nope. We'll get to that in a minute. But Hot Wheels put these out. There was like 3 or 4 different versions of it. There was this one, there was this one, and I believe there was an airport one too. I can't remember. But these ones are pretty damn prolific. I saw this more than I saw this one here. Again, Service City Go or something like that. It might even say it on here. I don't know. But look at you got your freight lines. You got a truck. Look at that old Ford. I saw somebody take one of these Fords, get rid of the box in the back, and they attached a camper to the back of this, on the bed. I want to do that someday. And it looked fucking awesome. But this elevator here was pretty cool. You had a little crank here, and it would make that noise, and you get a little fire engine house there. You got the hamburgers, old-fashioned hamburgers. Oh, I didn't realize there was a car dealership over here. You could put it. That's great use of that fucking empty space. Pretty cool stuff, man. And this one is no exception. Same thing. Just kind of different aesthetic. A few things were different. You got Larry's towing on a firehouse. This is where you get robbed by Mike's transmissions. This was pretty cool, the car wash. The cars would just barely fit through it. You got a gas station. I hate it when I do that. I apologize, guys. You get this right here, which I believe was a separate piece. Might have been, might not have been. I don't know. No burgers here. No burgers for you. You get to get tires. And then this was just parking. That was just parking. Look at this guy. He's going over it. It's like, what the fuck? You charged me to put a new valve stem? Cap? $50 for a valve stem cap? What the fuck? But, as it were. Matchbox. Vehicles I preferred anyway. I always liked Matchbox. They seemed a little thicker, a little hardier. Hot Wheels were like the hot rod version, the muscle cars. Whereas Matchbox to me just seemed not only more substantial, they weren't quite proportionately correct to whatever the vehicles they were doing. But I remember being more attracted to the Matchbox cars than ever any Hot Wheels cars. And when I bought them, they came in literally a little Matchbox looking thing. There was a place downtown called Melrose Coin and Stamp. And they had the old school display that turned around. And it would have the car on top of the box. And you would just say, can I get 94, please? And they'd go behind there and put the box there, open it up, make sure it was the right car or truck. I can't tell you how many police cars and ambulances I had. But I don't remember this playset very well. But I do remember this vehicle. I remember these. I think I even have one of these. Let's get in closer. This bad Larry here. And I don't remember the helicopter. I don't remember this playset at all. In fact, for all I know, this could be fucking real. I mean, not real. Mobile Action Command Rescue Center. I would fucking kill for a playset like this when I was between the ages of 4 and 99. Let's just face it. I would buy it today. But Matchbox absolutely jumped in, and I think this is GOAT compared to the Hot Wheels offerings, although the Hot Wheels ones, I will say, is more iconic. And they were in more homes. Yes, they were. But this one had sounds and all kinds of stuff. You had the little I remember, you had the little dealio here, and you'd hit the button, and you that crap, and you got lift. You have the, fuck you. Wrong one. You got your lift here. You got a kind of an elevator, escalator kind of thing there. I remember this actually very well. I you know what? Come to think of it, I do remember this a little bit better than I initially anticipated. I don't remember how you made that spin. Maybe there was hey, look at a little soda machine. What a great detail. Maybe it was something over here or something like I can't remember. But I remember this is where we would do our dyno test. What are they calling it? They're calling it the dynometer? I don't know. Maybe it is a dyno fucking thing. But either way, I like this one better. And it has the mat, too. I don't know if that came with it. I'm going to assume it did because the box shows it. That would be the best indicator of the reality of the situation. Am I right? You got your lubes. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Moving on. Moving on. Now, that's it for vehicles. This next section, number 12 through 21, are going to be what I call the cartoon section. And there are a couple of my Grail pieces in here. Absolutely. But I would be remiss if I didn't put this here. Now, mind you, I didn't collect or play with, when I was a kid, Ghostbusters toys. I didn't collect Teenage Mutant Ninja toys. So that little section of toys was slight. I mean, I was still a child, but like I was moving on to like a little bit more hardcore stuff, and I wasn't staying in that youthful spirit of fun and wonder. Plus, I never really watched the real Ghostbusters, nor did I really watch much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. There was a time where I would, but I never really got into them. The figures were amazing. But yeah, I had to absolutely put this fucker in there. This was also a request. The Ecto one was a requested one, but I chose to leave that one out because we know the Ecto one. And I suppose if there were any toy from this line I would want, it would be a few of the figures, the monsters, and maybe even Ecto one. But I would turn it into a regular hearse. You guys would be so mad at me. And I would be like, oh well, it's mine. Also, another request. I don't remember this playset. I don't remember seeing it in the stores. I don't remember seeing a commercial for it. Maybe if I saw the commercial, I would probably remember better. But this is a popular one. I do remember people talking about this playset quite a bit. Or at least the idea of it. The sewer/hangout playset. Pretty cool stuff. If I was a Ninja Turtles fan, this would be pretty okie dokie, huh? But this one, holy fuck, the Terradrome. Or Terradome? I call it the Drome. The Teledrome. Fantastic. The boss battle against this fucking thing was a nightmare on the NES game. But we're not here to talk about the NES game. We're here to talk about hunks of plastic that we opened up and put other hunks of plastic into. Great looking playset. Looks like it has a lot of value. I wish I got more pictures. I apologize. But it opens up. All four corners of the circle open up. And there's a whole bunch of stuff inside to play with. Really fun stuff. This next one. Actually, technically, these next two are on my list of must-haves. One is a little less... just a little bit less common. Whereas the one after is rare as fuck. The only one I've ever been able to find was $1,000. But we're not going to look at that one next. We're going to look at the other one that I actually know of one for sale. It's in Maine, though, for like $40. eBay has them all day long. So if I truly, really want to get one, I could. And it's because I like to collect haunted house, haunted mansion style toys. Do I care about the action figures? Not really. Not really, but just Casper, Whisper's Manor playset. I don't remember it because it came out in '97. Now I did kind of cheat with this one because it's a later one that a lot of us wouldn't have been into or whatever, unless we were still collecting toys at the time. I wasn't one of those guys that collected toys. Once I became somewhat of an adult, I didn't go out after the action figures when Star Wars The Phantom Menace was coming out. Like, all my buddies just fucking loaded up on those things. I think I got a couple of the lightsabers. I got Darth Maul. I may have gotten a vehicle. I don't remember exactly, but I didn't really collect toys and stuff, so I didn't even know this existed. And then I saw it on the Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want that. So if any of you guys have one of these laying around, they're not expensive. Unless you have it in a box like this. I think this guy wanted $250 for it. I got a lot of these pictures on eBay. If they're your pictures, get over it. But when you open it up, there is a lot of rooms in there to play with. It's almost like a little miniature doll set that I can only imagine is probably about 1.5 feet tall or so. Your average play set size. But, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we're still in here. I'm going to say, wait a minute, cartoons. I thought I just left the cartoon section. Shows you how fucking stupid I am. But yeah, this is one that's on my list. The next one, Megatron, what's going on? Thanks for popping in. We're going to be getting to one of your requests here pretty soon, actually. I was saying to everybody that doing videos like this is really fun because I get to learn, too, as well as maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys didn't know about this Casper one. But this is absolutely one that is on my priority list that I should have, hopefully, pretty soon when I can find room for more haunted house stuff. I have so many Playsets, Smashbox, Hot Wheels, the Wayne Manor I just showed you guys. I got a couple of Playsets that are Haunted Mansion or Haunted House themed, I should say, not Haunted Mansion. Again, everyone thinks Disney when I think that. I don't mean that specifically, so. But, oh, not much. Hope you're doing well. I am. And I hope wherever all you folks are, you escaped that fuck ton of snow we got. Gee whiz. All right, brace yourselves. There was a show called Ghostbusters by Filmation, which I have to be honest with you. I liked it better than the real Ghostbusters. I didn't know this came out at the time, and maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this is one of my holy grail play sets all time. The Ghostbusters Ghost Command. Now, earlier we talked about a guy named Retro Blasting, and he was talking about the Wayne Manor. I would recommend going to his video on this one. He's still a prick, but doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the attention. He doesn't deserve love. But he has a really fantastic collection of the Filmation Ghostbusters stuff. And I don't really care about the vehicle or any of the fucking action figures or any of that. Oh, that sucks. I wish I had gotten a picture of the inside of it. But there is so much going on in this fucking thing. It's crazy. But just look at it. Look at it. It's not only just a cool toy, but for a guy like me who wants to collect things that look like haunted fucking houses, tell me that's not perfect. And I remember when I saw his video, and that's where I learned about it. I searched for it right away. At the time, I had some money. I was working full time. And I was like, fuck, $1,000? Really? But in all fairness, that one had the box, and it had everything coming with it. But I'm telling you right now, finding one of these complete, crazy expensive. Finding one of these incomplete to the max, still crazy, fucking expensive. But if anyone has one of these in their fucking basements, and they're not greedy and they don't want to get gobs of money for it, please donate it to my collection. Again, I hardly ever beg, but holy fuck. There's not a lot I wouldn't do for one of these, except for pay money, because I don't have the kind of money that people command for this command center. Let's see. I remember Ghostbusters and the Big Gorilla. Yeah, there was a TV show in the 70s, too, I think. It's either late 60s, early 70s. And I believe that's where they got the name for the movie. And they tried to fight for the rights for the movie, and they never got it, so they just said, fuck it, we're just still calling our movie Ghostbusters. Fuck off. And it became a juggernaut, and there was nothing they could do about it. So, the next playsets were requests from Megantron. Didn't know these existed, and this is where I told you I enjoyed learning about a few playsets. Look at this fucking thing. Holy shit. Free inside, glow in the dark, what? Mini poster. Man, I love it when the free stuff used to come. But look at this. Hey, that kind of looks like Rescue, but not. I'm a Go Boss guy, sorry. But look at this fucking thing. Holy shit. What is it called again? Hold on. The Metroplex, if I wrote that down proper. And I'm going to assume that it turns into this guy. You let me know, Megan. Was this what this fucking thing looked like when you built it? Because I'm telling you right now, that's wicked awesome. Again, I'm not really into the whole Transformers thing, but there's a hey, what's going on, Howard? Thanks for popping in, my man. But there's just an aesthetic to this. That's, you know what? It kind of has two vibes. It has that techno, early 80s, In this case, of course, Transformers. Kind of like, and when I say Tron, I don't mean the movie Tron. I mean like when you think of Tron, spacey, and just, but it also has the same vibe as thin, cheap plastic, like Mark's Playsets that would come with like little army men too. I bet it was a lot more solid than those. But holy shit! Look at this fucking thing. Are you fucking kidding me? I kind of wish I was in the Transformers. I would have loved that. But this one, oh my god, the Triptychon or something like that. I think it was supposed to be like a T-Rex-ticon. I don't know. Should say it right here. Should say it. From dinosaur to city station and back. That's awesome. More than meets the eyes. The evil Decepticons. Wait, they don't put the name of these products on their fucking boxes? More posters. Oh yeah, there it is. Decepticon, Triptychon. Again, this is one toy. This is another toy. And it almost looks like they use some of the same parts, actually. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, no, I'm looking at this. Can you see my cursor? Hold on. Yes, you can. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you feel like they're not. I thought maybe this and this were the same, but they're not. They're not. Not even, well, I mean, I guess they're close, but how fucking rad is that? Because, and this is the beauty of a playset for something like the Transformers. Not only do you have a giant toy that can fight and battle with and against other Transformers, but it turns into a thing that you can use your Transformer cars to play on, and I'm sure you could have stored one or two of them in there. Like, it looks like there's a pouch here for something, unless that's just one of the Transformer figures that came with this playset. I know there was a lot of toys back then that Voltron, of course, comes to mind, but there were some Transformers, too, that multiple regular size Transformers turned into one giant one. There was a construction site one. I remember I found one or two of them, and I ended up sending them up to Brian's man cave because I know he was a big Transformers guy. I sent that up to him with a driving controller for the Atari 2600 because he didn't have one. As a matter of fact, he uploaded, this is fun, he uploaded the video of unboxing those items I sent to him. The day me and my daughter were in the parking lot of a Walmart, we were watching it after going into Walmart buying the Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs figures. I think I got a couple of the Masters of the Universe ones, and I got a couple Terminator ones too. They made these little T-800 ones. They were awesome. I have like 4 of them somewhere. I can't remember. Megatron says, yes, it does. Okay, cool. I kind of assumed that it would turn into that. They have a 4-foot version. What? And it transforms as well. It's like $6,000. Oh my God. Alan, what's going on, buddy? I had this one too. He walks with batteries. You know what? I'm going to take back I don't remember these. I do fucking remember this thing. I do remember this thing walking around clunkily. I can honestly say I don't know, I might remember this. But I absolutely remember this one. Now that we're talking about it, you told me that it walks and all that. The Metroplex was a showcase for some of the Protectobots in the box, which turned into Defensor. The Triptychon is a showcase some of the Stunticons, which transformed into... Oh my God. I feel like a parent now. I feel like that dad listening to a kid telling him all about the lore of a fucking toy or a cartoon. And I'm just like, that's nice, dear. Not belittling you, but like in the aspect of my brain can't comprehend it. I'm too stupid. I admit it, I'm a Dinobot sympathizer. That's all right, man. I have a whole bunch of Dinobots. Actually, I have a whole bunch of those. If I remember correctly... Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. Alright. Bet you didn't expect me to play Puff the Magic Dragon while looking at transforming fucking robotic dinosaurs. Dinosaur. Dinosaurs! All right. Enough. We're playing big time now. We're getting fucking real. What kind of list would be me, Megantron, Dinobot sympathizer too? I'm a GoBots kind of guy. You know what? If you guys want, I'm going to write it here. Get, rest, Q. I'll go get him in a second. The only GoBot I ever owned, that was official GoBot anyway. And the the only one I still have to this day. I really want to do. I do want to collect GoBots, and they're not too expensive. But I also have, if you go into my the Creeps Playthings playlist and Megantron, maybe you'd be interested in these videos. But the Dollar Tree for a while had both their versions of like G1 Transformers and GoBots. They had a larger set and a smaller set. And I did a video on both of those. And I still have those. I found them like a week or two ago. And I still have those. They're falling the fuck apart because Dollar Tree toys. But regardless. Regardless. I was more of a GoBots guy. And I say it wasn't because I didn't like the Transformers. I actually had a couple of Transformers. I had a few of those ones that you would wind up and let go. And they would jump into action. And transform, like literally just open up and transform. Everybody had those. Those were like a default birthday present around here. They must have been cheap and very readily available. But they also had the little thing where you press your finger on it. You could see whether you had a Decepticon or a fucking Autobot. Pretty cool stuff. Robert Carradine. Yes. That was so sad to see. And the article, I saw the headline too, said he lost his battle with bipolar disease. And of course that hit home because I've tried to unalive myself a number of times throughout the years. And you guys have seen my struggles. I've screamed from hospital bedrooms. And I've never been shy about talking about my mental illness because it's just a part of who I am. And I've never really been ashamed of it. I mean, what can you do? If you have fucking diabetes, unless it's the type that you can get rid of, what can you do? If you have cancer, what can you do? You know? You have it. Why be embarrassed? Fuck it. Either do something to fucking work with it, or fuck off. Quit crying. But I heard he, I'm hoping I'm hoping he didn't unalive himself. But either way, sad that he's gone. I'll give him a nerd salute. I love Revenge of the Nerds. What a great fucking movie. I don't care what you say about that one scene inside the space house. It was a different time, and there was no nefarious bullshit. It was illegal, I will say that. That was fucked up, but get over it. That's too bad, huh? I had one GoBot turn into a bigger robot as well. I forget its name. It was 5 cars. Yeah, I do too. I don't know a lot about them. I have to be honest with you. For someone who really wants them, I don't know a lot about them. But there is a GoBot playset on this list, so. As a matter of fact, where'd it go? Oh! That's next. Next group. We're doing right now the cartoons still. The cartoons. Wow, we're almost done. We only have, 2, 5, 6 more to go through. Well, how long? Oh, it's almost an hour. Wow, I timed this one perfectly. But what is there to say about Castle Grayskull other than it's one of the greatest sculpts of all time for a fucking toy? When I was a kid, and I have a whole video about why I wasn't able to collect these because it was just another toy line. My parents were like, we're not fucking buying more toy lines. So I kind of got jealous that all my friends had these, so I started not liking them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But as you guys know now, I'm a big Motu fan. I don't have many of the toys left, but as a matter of fact, I'm sure I've shown you guys. I have them over there. I have a Skeletor Megatron crossover figure. It's fucking beautiful. It's wonderful. And I like to take these Masters of the Universe style figures and match them up to beasts like you would with He-Man and, Cringe, Battle Cat, Skeletor, and Panther and stuff like that. So I'm sure you guys have seen it over the years. I collected again, in my playlist, the Savage World 5.5-inch barbarian style figures of Jason Voorhees, Freddy, the horror ones, and a couple of Beasts from the DC line ones, and we've paired them all up, and I've made a couple of my own custom. I got this one called Cranom that I made from a skull, one of the last toys my mom ever gave me as an adult before her passing. I turned him into an action figure that's it's based off of a Ben Cooper style costume because my mom really loved Halloween with me as well. So, God, I almost choked up there for a second. But I've made a couple others. You guys have seen Darth Voorhees. I made a Mandalorian one out of a Rio. But regardless, I love Masters of the Universe. And this is probably one of the greatest sculpts of a playset ever made. If I were to pick one that was my favorite, it would be this. I kind of regret getting rid of mine. I had just about every piece to it. The only thing I did not have for mine was the battery cover for the battery box, but it still did work. And I want to say I did have the net. I had all of these. I had the ladders. Maybe I had it complete at one point then. Except for, of course, the battery box. No, there might have been one other thing, but I'm pretty damn sure it was damn near next to complete. And I did have extra of these railings that are on the bridge here. I had extra of those. I had extras of the bridge. Because a lot of times these would snap where they clip into the thing. It's like, it's a ball with a slit in the middle, so it would have a little spring. And over time they broke. And Toy Polloi has a lot of great videos on how he fixes his. You just have to not be a fucking douchebag purist. And just be like, yeah, that's cool. I just realized this picture's backwards. This picture's fucking backwards, and it's driving me nuts. No, the box is upside down. I was going to say the playset's fine. But yeah, mine worked awesome. I think this is the greatest Masters of the Universe playset. And when I saw in the commercial for the trailer for the movie that's coming out, the giant snake with Skeletor standing in front of it. We didn't get a really good view of Snake Mountain, but I'm excited that that's going to be in there. I'm really excited. Let's see. I had one GoBot. We already talked about that. How it says, my cousin in Anchorage was such a Motu fan since it was like a toddler. Nowadays, he doesn't type of stuff. He doesn't what? That's right where that blob of resin is. I'm going to say he doesn't like this type of stuff and is an expert on medieval weapons. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. That's fucking awesome. Your cousin seems like a good cat. Megantron says, yeah, the GoBot with the 6 cars actually, combiner was a puzzler. I just looked it up now, and I remember it also had Cycle, Turbo, Scooter, and Leader 1. Those were like the core ones. Turbo and Leader 1 were like, you had to have those two. The Cycle was a really close second to those, and then, of course, Scooter. But there's a lot of really cool ones, man. He is a rad dude. I bet he is, man. If you went into that kind of a thing, fuck yeah. And here's one I was surprised when I was talking to a few people the other day when doing this, putting this together and talking about it, that a lot of people didn't know about the Fright Zone, the Evil Horde Fright Zone. This was a great little simple play set. You had like this little rock structure, right? You had this creepy tree and a little jail, but more importantly, you had a puppet of this snake monster. How fucking cool is that? Now, these always rotted over time. It's not very common at all to find one with, the puppet. Never mind with it intact. Because usually when you do find them, they're all crumbly and gross. But it was a puppet that you'd put on your hand, and you'd reach in from the back, and you could gobble up your fingers with it. I mean, it didn't have a hole for a mouth. You just, But the fucking Horde Fright Zone, what a fantastic toy. Not my favorite on the list, but I think it's got the coolest vibe. This, along with, and I didn't put any of the little sets, like the Oh my god, I tried to make a little mini version of it too. The slime. Oh, what the hell was that called? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But you guys know what I'm talking about. They had the picture of Beastman on it, and the slime would come out of the skull on the top of it. What the fuck was that called? I'm looking it up now. God damn it. Alright, Masters of the Universe. I don't know why I can't think of it. I guess I have to type out Masters of the Universe. Oh, the slime pit. Duh. Just the fucking slime pit. That's a really cool fucking playset. If you've never, it's really simple. It's a very simple one, but nonetheless, really fun. I was trying to. There's actually a couple of other toys similar to it, like a Harry Potter playset came out with something that spews slime, and even with the 2000X Masters of the Universe line, there was a slime pit style thing, but I think you fell more into it, and there was a big throne on that one, and the magnetics, I think they're called. They're not magnet toys, but they're really thick plastic toys with the smaller figures. The hands are like this. I have a couple of them. The big yellow circle with the eye in it. They had one that looked very similar that I was actually turning into a slime pit, but never finished it. I don't even know if I even still have the parts for it. They may be up in the attic. They may not be. So that completes our cartoon segment. So to catch you up, if you go back, we started off with space play sets. We had about 7 of those. And then we did about 4 or 5 play sets that were based around Hot Wheels and Matchbox and stuff like that. And there's one technicality going into the next section that could have went into that one, but it is what it is. In the next section, we're going to be talking about mini play sets. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for disturbing me. I know, but I'm in the middle of doing this, and I have a flow going. And when you come out, it's distracting. I don't understand.
Can I tell them the good news?
Tell them the good news. Come on over. Hold on. Hold on. Let me change the... Come on over. Tell them the good news. You have our attention.
Sorry. As of Friday, I now officially have a boyfriend.
She's got a boyfriend now.
And we're going sledding today.
They're going sledding.
Yeah.
Family owns a small restaurant, deli kind of thing. They brought home some pizzas from it. It's that really thick Sicilian shit. Really good. Too much bread in my opinion, but it was fucking flavorful as fuck. It was good shit.
Alright, I need to go change.
Alright, go change. Get ready for the sledding. Get ready for some sledding. Alright, so the next section is minis. And this was a request. And it's funny, I know all about this play set. But when they said it, it was like Van City Motor, a Motor City Van. I don't remember how they wrote it. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I looked it up. Absolutely. Actually, I think it was in the it was in the chat when I was talking about requests, for the next one. And then they put it in the actual post I made on the community tab. So, see, I'm using the community tab. I'm starting to do the things almost proper now. Are you fucking... Guys, tell me you're proud of me at least a little bit, right? Free pizza, woohoo. I don't think we're going to get free pizza that much, but... The kid wants to be an accountant, so I don't think he's going to take over the... I don't think he's going to take over the shop, but the pizza was really good. The slices were like 8 inches by like 6 inches, and it was real puffy. Again, I think it was like 1.5 inches of bread, and then, of course, your layers of toppings and stuff, which was still thick in itself. But they also use the butter crust system that like a lot of Detroit pizzas do. God, I love me some Detroit pizza. So, let's see, what do we got here? Howdy, mediocre clarinet player, people are saying. Free pizza, woohoo, yeah, mediocre clarinet player. Welcome to the stream, yeah. Let me go back. I mean, I know you've been here, but that's the first time I've seen you since we started, so. But this was a pretty cool play set. First, you had the micro machines, the little cars that were about the size of a quarter, right? and then you had to have something to put them in. They said, you know what, why don't you just do this and make a big fucking playset that looks like a van? I don't collect micro machines. The closest to micro machines I have, they're like little vehicles, but they're made out of like a pizza with eyes. And I have a couple that are like monster heads, and they're called Mad Wheels. We may have done a video. I think I did a live stream about Mad Wheels years ago. We need to revisit that. I got a whole stack of them. They're really fun little. They're literally micro machines, but instead of them being vehicles like traditionally, they're fucking weird things. Like one of them's a chicken. One's an eyeball. It's a fucking flying eyeball with wheels. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. But this is an amazing playset. Look at that. It looks amazing on display. I love vans. I love vans. Look at this fucking thing. Wonderful. Micro machines. Winning. And of course, Mighty Max. The male, or I should say the little boy equivalent to the Polly Pockets. And I believe Polly Pocket came out first. It was one of those rare toy lines that the girls got first. I don't want to hear any of that stupid shit. Everyone can play with it. I know. Let's just go with commonalities, all right? I fucking hate that I have to do that. But I believe the Polly Pockets came out first. And the Polly Pockets were literally, they're supposed to be like makeup compacts, I believe. And you would open them up and there'd be like a little scene in there. And you'd have these tiny little figures. In fact, I have a generic version of Micro Machines I got from, I think I got it from the, what is that company, Chinese something company? They basically sell big bags of like party favors and shit. Oriental Trading Company. The Oriental Trading Company. They had a set of 4 of them, and I was only able to get this one that was like a mummy rock. And you open it up and it had like 4 like little tiny figures and a couple of little accessories with it. Same idea as this, but what happened was the Polly Pockets came out and they proved to be very popular. So they came out with these, if I remember correctly. I don't think they came out simultaneously. And I believe these were after Polly Pockets. But oh my God, this is just Series 1. This is just Series 1. I can't recall if I even owned any of these, except for... Did you hear that? Snow falling off of the roof. That scares me because it sounds like a fucking tornado. That's loud. But I've had this playset. I forget what it's called. As a matter of fact, a toy dealer I used to deal with all the time on Instagram sent it to me by accident. It was meant to go to somebody else. And I was like, dude, you've cut me enough deals. Let me just send it to them. I'll pay for it. Don't even worry about it. And he's like, just keep the fucking thing. He doesn't even want it anymore. I wonder what happened there. I don't know. But I ended up giving this to a friend of mine who actually has a channel. He does a lot of Garbage Pail Kid stuff. Cash is Treasure. Cash like money. You should check him out. He's a really good dude. And he also works for a company that sells like headlamps and stuff like that. And I got this fucking thing from him. This thing is amazing. He just randomly sent this to me. I think he's in sales, so he gets a lot of like sample things. I looked it up. It's like $120 for this fucking little pen light. And I'll tell you what, I've never really needed a pen light before, but I've found a million uses for it ever since I've owned it. The headlamps I use every year when we go to the corn maze during fall. But I love these. In fact, there was a time where I really wanted to collect these, but I don't know. It's just another one of those fucking things. It's like all the little pieces you got to try to find if you want to complete it. But this is right up my alley, and unfortunately, it was a little bit after my time. Monsters, action figures, play sets, all in one? Are you fucking kidding me? But Mighty Max, what an amazing toy line. Go Bots! I don't know why this is in here. In fact, I kind of feel weird for putting it in here. This should have went in the cartoon section, but that's neither here nor there. This is going to be the last toy we look at today. Last playset anyway. Bears Fan Goomba! What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be doing a video about needing sponsorships for the Walk to End Alzheimer's 2026. It's a big year. This year marks the 20th anniversary of my father's passing from the disease. And I want to go big this year. I want to go big. My goal is 2,500. I should make it 26. I should change that to 26. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that today. I'm just going to put 2,600. But regardless, Bears Fan Goomba will be my very first sponsor for that T-shirt. What I try to do is come up with a T-shirt every year and have sponsors. I usually have Chris over at Video Game Dust Sleeves. He donates a custom dust sleeve for your cartridges of all shapes and sizes. You can have it with your name on it. You can have a picture of you on it. You can have the label of the game. In my case, it's going to be some Alzheimer's kind of thing. I'm going to reach out to him soon. And if you purchase them, he takes no money for himself. What you purchase, that money goes directly into the Alzheimer's Association at the end of the campaign when he has enough to donate. Also, in the past, we've had Retro Game Boys with his controllers. He's donated 2 of those in the past. I might reach out to him since it's a big year. I might reach out to him and see if he wants to sponsor it again. Bacon Ice Cream Productions every year does his own walk and gets donations just from my account, from my, my campaign. Toy dealers have sponsored in the background. So if you, as a side note, before I make that video, if you want to be on the T-shirt and want to sponsor my walk, you have to have an entity or a product. It can't just be mediocre clarinet player. You know what I mean? I make one exception. Of course, that's for Rich of Bacon Ice Cream Productions, because on average, he does about $500 a year for me. He does his own walk. He gives away his own stuff. He's given away Atari VCSs like the newer one. He sent me one to paint purple to send back to him to send to somebody, And I kind of feel bad about that. I want to revisit that because I fucked that one up bad. For some reason, the paint was just too dark. I don't know why, but regardless, $100 or more, or supply a product of any value really, or service that you're willing to donate to somebody at the end of the year, and you'll get on the T-shirt. The video will come out. Don't you worry about that. I really wish I could get a ton of sponsors this year. I really want to go big. I'm actually reaching out to some of the local restaurants, too, to see if I can't do a sponsored night. But yeah, if you have a company, anything with a regular logo, not just a YouTube channel, unfortunately, but you got a product, a goods and services, or anything like that, you just want to throw $100 into it, don't give it to me. The link is down below. Always use that link for all donations. Don't ever put it in the super chat. Don't send it to my PayPal. I mean, if you send it to my PayPal by accident, it would end up in there. But if you put it in the super chat, who knows when I'm going to see it. I have to get a minimum of $100 before they pay me out. And it takes so long just to get that. And by the time I get it, it's like, do I remember? Do I not remember? I don't have good brains, guys, so I don't try to fuck around. But Bears Fan Goomba is my very first, and you guys will find out why here in a little bit. But back to the topic at hand, the GoBots Command Center. As a matter of fact, what do they call themselves? Tom and Lacey. Is it Do You Retro or Do You... Oh, my God. My memory is getting bad. As a matter of fact, we were in the mall the other day, and I legit forgot where we were. I legit forgot where we were for like a microsecond. And my lady's actually starting to get a little nervous about it. So I might go see if I can't get that new blood test that you guys have helped create. That makes it easier, cheaper, and more convenient to search for Alzheimer's, especially in younger folk, because early onset is more prevalent now. One year we did a feature on a young person. I think they were like 9. They had a juvenile version of Alzheimer's. It's disgusting. I fucking hate this disease, but looks like I might be the next candidate of the family, but it doesn't matter. But when you open this fucker up, of course, it looked like this. I mean, there's not really much here I can really show you. But this is one of those playsets where Tom and Lacey made a video about one. I'm like, oh my God, I want one because I want to collect GoBots. And of course, it's very reminiscent to what I said was my very favorite playset of all time. One of them, anyway, the AT-AT Walker from the early Star Wars collections. Empire and Return of the Jedi. But this is such a it's an interesting looking thing. You could definitely tell that they were out of ideas. So they literally just generically made an AT-AT Walker rocket ship thing to not only put your things in, but to play around with. And that's what I like. I like it when you can use your toys in multiple ways. You can either use it as a really rad display like this or like this. You know, it's itself is a robot. It's a rocket ship. It's a walk-in vehicle. And you can store your GoBots in it. I believe it came with a carrying case, too. Or a carrying handle. I could be wrong there. In fact, I'm starting to take that one back. Let me know in the comments here. I saw a video with expired Mad Balls, and they were slowly the packages. Yeah, dude, those things, because they're sponges, and eventually the latex paint on it cracks, and a sponge will absorb moisture from the air. And there is water in the air. You didn't know that. Now you do. There is water in the air. And it depends on how much and where you keep it. Attics and basements, death sentences for anything you want to collect and keep. Unless, of course, you have silicon packs and stuff like that down there. Or you have it controlled climately. And, of course, humidity-wise. But, yeah, I believe that. I've never seen it, but I can totally believe that. So... Creep, did you ever like muscle figures? They were awesome. Yes, I do like I was more of a monster in my pocket. I'm almost out of muscle figures. The Thumb Buddies. The Thumb Buddies I'm selling. I only got 2 more sets left, guys. Come on, let's make it happen. Get them the fuck out of here. Except for you, Bears fan. You've already bought 2. I tried to put in a muscle figure with each one and then a gift. I don't think I've sent any lately with muscle figures, but I do like muscle. But I was more of a monster in my pocket kind of guy, which I do have a couple of those as well. So, but muscle figures are great, absolutely, and we could talk about those in the future as well. I'm always willing to take requests. Just always put them in the comments of these live streams, not in the chat. Obviously, if you're watching this on replay, you can't put it in the chat. But if you're in it right now, and you have a specific toy or line of toy, or do you have a topic of toy that you'd like me to cover similar to this, always put them in the comments. Not because of the engagement. Fuck the algorithm. Fuck engagements. It's about me steering the ship the way I want to, but with your, you know what I mean? I don't mind you guys helping me navigate this shit. I make that joke all the time. It's my channel. I'll do whatever the fuck I want with it. And I stand by that. I'll die on that hill. You know, if I want to talk about Kit Kats tomorrow. If I want to talk about blue cups that say coffee before talkie. We're going to do it. We're going to do that on my channel. But if there's something that you guys are curious how I feel about them, or, you know, whatever, or just to do something like this, always put it in the comments. I do write this shit down. That's specifically what this notebook is for. YouTube. It's for fucking you guys, eh? I keep a notebook right here next to my bum on another chair. A chair that could be hosting a bum for supper, but never does. But classic space Lego. We did that, buddy. We did that early on, but I will do a recap of everything we've already looked at. I do that at the end of every one of these streams. But since this is the last of them for this stream anyway, I think right now would be a good opportunity to do that very thing. So let's go all the way back. There you go. Space Lego. And we're back to number one. That was the Marx playset from like 1970 something, maybe even the 60s. But absolutely, man. That's my jam. Lego's fucking cool, man. Can RoboCop 2? Oh, Crane, that's right. He died this week, too. Everyone's dying. You know why? Because we're getting older, man. The heroes, our fucking heroes, are starting to go. And it's really bumming me out. And there are a few I'm preparing for. If you were here for the intro of this stream, even before I put my image on there, I started playing a Pink Floyd song that everybody knows and loves. I'm doing that again. I don't know what it is with Shine On. I always play part 2 and 3. I hardly ever play the intro. I hardly ever play it. And I don't even know if I remember how to play it. Hold on. So weird bending the 4th string. It's the first one that's thick with the wrap around it. It's so weird bending it that much, but David Gilmour. GOAT! Howard says, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted a Tyco racetrack so bad. Those were great. Maybe we should do a video on just Tyco racetracks. I can't remember if we had it or I wanted it, but a Dukes of Hazzard one. I remember playing with one. I cut out a listing and I gave it to Santa. And that was when I was not aware of Ataris. Okay, that's fine. Bears Van Gogh says, yeah. Well, I got you, man. I got you. Great tune, Creep. Learning to Fly is badass too. Yeah. I think that was my first album that I ever owned by them, Momentary Lapse of Reason. Fantastic album. And the best part about that album is it showed that David Gilmour could take up the helm just as good as anybody else. I think on the Pulse album, they had a baritone sax solo. Yeah, I think they did too. I know there was a sax one, but I don't know if it was baritone or not. But all right, recap. We get the Space Ranger thing. It had this fucking satellite thing that you could spin around and gobble up all these fucking figures and do whatever you needed to do with it. I picked this because it showed up, and I just thought it was fucking cool. I just thought it was really cool. Beyond, it's just a name. It reminds me of Disney, actually. Like a Disney park. Beyond Tomorrow, because they have Futureland or whatever it's called. They have the Tomorrowland. Beyond Tomorrow, the Lunar Space Station. Amazing stuff. Amazing. There's your Lego set. And I was saying back then, when we were talking back then, Bears fan, when we were talking about this, I just chose this one image because it was just a good description. If you remember, it was always like little sets. Little sets with like a figure, a building, and maybe a vehicle, or just a vehicle with a figure, and you had to build the cities yourselves. And I just thought this picture here represented everything fucking fun and rad about the space set. There were so many space sets that were so fun. I got a couple of space sets. Most of them have the Army figure style thing with the vinyl playmat, but like even the Fisher-Price Adventure people, we should do one of those videos. The Alpha Force teams. Amazing. I still have my Alpha Force Pro. You know, the big spaceship with the 3 fucking annoying sounds. We did a repair on that, I think, a long time ago. Or maybe I never got to that. I have to replace the 9-volt. The 9-volt terminal. But the little connector thing. The Millennium Falcon. And the greatest toy ever made right here, the AT-AT Walker. You have 1, 2, and there was a third one. I can't remember what it was. I thought I put it in here. These Hot Wheel Cities. Matchbox with their fucking rescue center. And, of course, their version of the, the garage stuff. And I think they had a couple different versions of this Bad Larry. But I remember having so much fun with this one. This one was fucking great. Sorry, I'm eating a fucking a Kit Kat. I shouldn't eat a Kit Kat. I'm type 2 diabetic. I take care of myself, though. At least I try. Ghostbusters stuff, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This right here, I was saying if anyone has one of these, I would like to take it off your hands. There's one for sale. I say local, it's in Maine. But luckily for me, it's like not the 5-hour away Maine. It's in one of the cities that's kind of engulfing in New Hampshire. So it'll only take me about an hour to get to it. He wants $40 for it, and it's just the castle. I don't think there are any figures with it. But because I collect a lot of toys that resemble haunted houses and mansions and stuff like that, I would like to add this. This is one of my dream goals. This is the holy grail of playsets for me. The holy grail of toys in general is that E.T. hamper. But if I were to get this fucking thing, I don't know what I would do with myself. Let's say I was able to get my hands on this one, and I did an unboxing video, I would probably cry live that I own this one. Not for nostalgia reasons. Only because it's probably the coolest spooky playset. And it's so rare. And it's made out of that real thin, brittle plastic that you can hear how brittle it is, you know? We got ourselves a couple of Transformers, toy / playset / carrying things. This one fucking here just takes the cake. Out of all the Transformer toys, I don't care. Figures, characters, fucking playsets, your mom's ass. This right here is GOAT. Look at it. And it walks. And it comes with a glow-in-the-dark mini poster. Fucking radness. And of course, one of the greatest sculpts of all time. Probably the greatest, if not the greatest Motu. I know a lot of people are going to say Castle Grayskull is GOAT, but no. I think Snake Mountain not only offers a lot more playability, it's more toyetic, but it also aesthetically is just so fucking, it's got veins. And it's one of those playsets where, yeah, this is sculpted, and there are things to find in here, right? Yeah. Nope, not compared to this fucking thing. I remember there was a time, every time I looked at this, I found something new sculpted into the body of it. And I have always wanted to repaint one of these to be not only a little bit more realistic, but to make all the things that were sculpted into it. You know what I mean? There is, if you've never seen a Snake Mountain, the original one, up close, I implore you, give it a few minutes. Give it some of your hard time, your valuable time, and just really go through it inside and out. It is such a wonderfully sculpted, wonderfully thought out playset. You have a microphone that makes you sound like a badass. You have a mouth that opens and closes. You have a bridge. You have all kinds of ladders. You have a gate over here. You have a fucking, and a snake will come get you, or you fall through the thing, and the inside had a net that would catch you in it. And I'm telling you, man, Mattel was hitting it out of the park with these. And of course, you have the Fright Zone, which I put on here because a lot of people don't know too much about it. This was a requested one. Mighty Max. And of course, the last one we looked at, the GoBots Command Center. And that is every playset that I chose to talk. I'm trying to keep these videos down to 25 pictures. And I was able to do that with this one. And I'm glad. I'm glad because, wow, we are already in an hour and a half. How fucking cool is that? Did you do TMMT yet? Yeah. I did. I did 2 of them. Which I'm assuming you just saw. Got your Bebop, got your Rocksteady. Absolutely. Rocksteady was my guy, Bass Fan says. That's cool. Again, didn't get into Turtles. My buddy was a big fan of the comic when it was first coming out. He used to actually go up to New Hampshire and get them. And there was like a little joint in New Hampshire. I think it was pretty close to where the guys who published it, the guys who came up with the deal. Like, I don't know their names. I just know there were a couple of buddies that did it. It became famous and rich, and then they became not buddies because of money, I guess. I don't know. Same fucking story. Same story as everybody else. We're not going to talk about Rescue today. I'm not going to get up and get it. I've been going about an hour and a half, and the kids are home because of the snow again. Everyone was home yesterday. That's why we didn't stream. Like, everybody was home, and I have to admit, I guess I was on my period yesterday. I was just so fucking angry about everything, and I think it had to do with people in my space during days it's supposed to be my space, But like, we have a little shelf over here in front of a walkway, not in front of it, but like to the left of it, that it's starting to get piled up, and every time you walk by, shit just falls off of it. I finally lost my shelf. I'm throwing all this fucking bullshit away. And of course, that's when people who have stuff on the shelves come out of nowhere. Oh, no. I'll make sure. I don't have many of those moments, but I do get fucking pissed. But yeah. And you know what else pisses me off? Since we're on the topic of anger, and I am about accountability, I probably went a little too far with my yelling and screaming about it. But one of the things people like to do is be really loud walking through spaces. And that drives me nuts. The young lady you saw earlier, amazing voice. And she can do the I call it the chaotic stage singing very well. Like as if she was in a live production. And it's always like, da-da-da, the Jimmy in the foul, you know. Wonderful. But she does it at the top of her lungs walking through here. I'm over here trying to work on something, you know, and I get mad about it. And I feel bad because I want her to be able to sing and I give them their time to do their thing. But it's like, this is a small 2-bedroom apartment. So after a while, it just gets fucking old. But my lady walked through here with her fucking phone blaring some video. I was just like, can we not fucking be rude with each other? I was in a real bad fucking mood yesterday. I don't even know why. I'm telling you, PMS. Men get it too. But we'll worry about showing you my rescue. It looks like an ambulance. And it's a go-by. You move the arms, you move the legs, you pop the head up, and it's done. But yeah, I never got really into the Ninja Turtles and all that shit. I don't even know why we started talking about... because I want to get off the computer to let them have their space today. But guys, thanks for hanging out. This was a really fun, collaborative video. And I want to do more of these. So if there's any toy lines, if there's any toy subjects, if there's any specific, anything toy related that you would like me to make a video similar to this, or I should say a live stream for Toy Tuesday, put it in the comments. Don't put it in the chat right now. I'm not going to be able to see that, nor will I give a fuck to. I'm not going to come back and go scroll through the video. And I will admit when I'm too lazy, but I'll admit when I was a prick. I was a prick yesterday. I was a real bad prick. But guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I need to jump on meeting great times as always. I need to jump on. Oh, I'm meeting. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you for popping in, man. Enjoy your meeting. We're all gathered here in the conference room today to discuss why we can't get anything done around here. And we're not leaving this room until we figure it out. That's how I looked at meetings. Ooh, that was a sour note, wasn't it? Ooh. I'll leave you with one verse of this song. Oh, I fucked that up already. I was born in the dirt and never had no home. And the places I've lived, I can't sing, I know. You don't want to know. So if you want to hear evil, just come a little bit close. I was a snake-eyed boy, and by the age of 5, I made love to the Howl of the Wolves with a dark-haired girl. Guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you guys are fucking doing very well. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. Have fun. Play with toys. We're getting old. There's no reason not to.